This is part 2 of What's Up Wednesday regarding anxiety and depression, holding space for somebody who's in that kind of mental struggle. I struggle calling it a mental illness. I will be honest with you. I feel like there are extremes when it comes to anxiety and depression. There are coping strategies that can be used, but left abandoned and neglected for a long period, it becomes a mental illness and can breed into other parts of the body, creating other struggles. So why this is one of my passionate topics to talk on is to help people recognize how the body's behaving so they can change the direction and help their minds be more malleable and come out of depression and anxiety in a healthy way versus having to use medication. I'm a big believer of having a healthy diet, and definitely meditation, structured practices help a lot with depression and anxiety or other mental illnesses. So really kind of becoming mindful of those things, really recognizing the way it's coming up or showing or expressing for you may be different, and tracking the depths and the variations of those kinds of expressions. So navigating it, if you are a person struggling with this, I told you I would do a topic just on dealing with anxiety and depression. And sometimes I feel like we should even separate depression and anxiety because they are very different. Anxiety is more fear of the future based, and it can be not necessarily based on perception of reality, because obviously if your fear of future is uncertainty and unknowing, based on past belief systems that can get us invested in thinking that if I do this, this, and this will happen, and create stuck patterns, which is a lot of what OCD is about. You needing to control everything and put it in a certain way so that there's a certainty of a direction that's predictable. And even PTSD, where it's more based on, uncontrollable anxiety and fear or needing to protect oneself. So there's a lot of different things that are going on there and different various levels of depth. So this video is really designed more for those who are dealing with more of a softened but feeling out of control with some of their anxiety or depression. So some of the things you want to look at: what are you doing that's keeping you in the pattern or the cycle belief of this depression? Are you repeating the stories over and over and over again that create this to become an anchored, invested belief? Or are you allowing yourself time to be out of the depression, out of the anxiety? Maybe you lost a job, or maybe your child's not speaking to you anymore, or there's some trigger point of where this belief started. And you're replaying it over and over again, thinking that if you don't do something different, then this will be the way it is forever. And that's setting that stimulation of anxiety into the future. So try to look at where your mind is going. Where is it tracking? Can you not turn off your mind? Are you struggling with, being able to focus on something different? This is why structure is so important if you have anxiety. If you let the idle mind play, what's that saying? The idle mind's the devil's workshop. Yep, this is that moment. So really recognize, if you're letting it go away from you, you're not allowing your brain to have healthy structure and support, and that can cause some trouble. So putting a schedule together, maybe writing out meditation in the morning, healthy breakfast, work from 9 to 5, come home, nice dinner, go for a walk with the kids or your dog or whatever. And, making sure that you journal joy for the end of the night and going back to bed and doing it over again until you feel a sense of lightness around your anxiety can really help if you're not too deeply invested in anxiety. Now, if you're deeper and in a more tense stage, you're going to need support. You're going to need positive people around you, especially if you're coupling anxiety and depression with, say, drinking or other, bypass tools. It can be even sex addiction. So really become aware of who you're putting yourself around and become mindful of the practice of what choices you are taking into control and how you're trying to structure your life. Embracing the idea of where you are is okay. You may be feeling anxiety, you may not like that feeling, but recognizing that you are making the feeling wrong could be part of the problem and stirring up some of that anxiety. We call this being wires crossed. So anxiety and joy, believe it or not, happy, are the same feeling in the body, which is kind of crazy, right? When you think about it, anxiousness and that butterflies in the belly of the nerves and when you're about to go speak on stage, is the exact same feeling we have when something really exciting is happening and we're super excited for the roller coaster ride. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun going down the roller coaster. But you still have the same butterflies. So recognizing the behavior is very similar can help you recognize that your wires are crossed. So telling yourself, this sensation is normal. It's okay to have the intensities. Ask yourself, am I truly in danger? Is there something to really be fearful about this space? Or is it just an experience I'm having? So allowing for you to kind of discern the experience is a great way to kind of master some of your anxiety. I'm also a big believer of getting either a coach, a counselor, or some medical support, not necessarily medicine, but medical, meaning it could be a psychologist, to help you navigate some of the stories to create some discernment in place. Because sometimes we hear those stories over and over again in our head and we start dwelling and we get lost in what is real and what is not real. So having someone who's a neutral party can be very beneficial as you decipher the truth versus the lies you tell yourself. So anxiety is serious business and depression is extremely paralyzing. So if you need support and you're struggling finding someone to help you in your area, please reach out and I will help you find someone. Sending you love.